What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Music with Mando in the Morning, the podcast where we interview local artists about their upcoming work, previous work, and pretty much just anything they're working on in the moment. Today, I got the homie, Stizzy Tanz.
What's happening? What's good? Yo, it's great to be here for real. Coming all the way from Salem, about an hour drive, but it's really nice to be here, man.
So to start off, I just kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about your debut mixtape, For Eternity. So it's been out for coming up on like a month and a half or so. How's it been going so far?
I like it, man. I feel like a lot of people haven't really heard it yet. I feel like it needs to just be in people's ears a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta promote it more, obviously. It's my part, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as I just start making videos and start pushing some reels and pushing some content out, I think that mixtape has some potential to really go further than it is right now, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
But I like it, man. I spent about 2 years working on it, on and off. I'm working on other projects as we go, but yeah, man, I love that tape for real.
That track's full of bangers, and it goes through like very different like spectrums. You know, you get the hype songs and the sad songs and like everything in between from there. Like, what was your favorite song on that album and why?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I guess I have a couple different avenues I like to go through with music. So I guess I got like multiple favorite songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say I like, for more of my like bars stuff, like if you really like just good rap, just filled in with punchlines and metaphors and just good shit, I really like Fuego.
Okay.
Fuego is your song. If you just want to get hype and just hear them bars, and it's more of like a drill style like they're doing over in like Detroit or South Florida even.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just cool style. I like to experiment with as many different styles as I can, so I could just really hone my craft in and just figure out what really works for everybody else, me, everybody else included. But I love every bit of genre that I do. And man, in terms of like a song that really means good enough to me in my heart,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the Adam Levine song really means a lot to me.
For sure.
And a lot of people don't know, but like, man, that song has a different message. You may think it's about a girl or about something else, but it's really about family, and it's about just being young in a family that just don't really approve of what you got going on in your life. So I just wanted that song to live for those people that wanted to break out of that, and just, man, you can do whatever you want to do, you know, for real.
I think Adam Levine's my favorite off the mixtape. Either
Yeah.
Adam Levine or Medusa. Those are the two
Medusa.
I've been running back and forth.
Yeah, Medusa's been out for, about a couple years now. I
Yeah.
dropped it as a single a long time ago, and it wasn't really mastered out to perfection as it is on the tape. I got really good feedback from that song. That song was a lot of good. Like, that was like the moment that I'm like, all right, I'm doing music for real now.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, I see that too. Like when I'm like at shows and see you perform, like especially like up in Salem and stuff, is the one that people know and like be vibing with. But I kind of want to ask, like, is Medusa that one that like you think is like the good show song, or like do you think there's another one that tops it?
man, I think the best show song that I have was probably Wildin' for a long time.
Yeah.
See, I would do it at the end of every single set, so that would just leave on just like this grand finale of shit that you never would think that would come out of me. You know what I'm saying? So.
Mm-hmm.
That song was a really good show song. Up is a really good show song. Yeah, man, I just like rocking shows. I like having fun. I like turning people up, and making sure everybody's dancing, bobbing their heads, and just feeling the vibe, you know.
How long you been rapping, man? How long you been putting the work in?
Man, I've been writing like on paper since I was like 11 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't take it seriously till I was about 16. I was going to school at McNary and Kaiser, and they had this studio production class I was getting into. And they also had like this like high school rap battle thing going on, which was crazy, man. Mm-hmm. It was wild. There was a lot of goofy stuff happening, and it was just kind of like kids just having fun. That was back in the Team Backpack era days, so everyone was listening to the short form content of just like just a fire 16, and it was just kind of all fast bars, all dialogue, a lot. Like it was right before just the trap era, and it was pretty sweet, man. And we did that, and then that got me in the class and got me working with different people there and different producers and different artists that were inside the school. And that was really cool. And then since then, I've just been working ever since. When the stimulus came back during COVID, spent all that on music equipment.
Nice.
So yeah, now I'm just trying to upgrade now.
You know, I go to a lot of shows like all over Oregon and stuff, but I want to say like you have a really good stage presence. You know, like you're very like energetic and like feeling yourself in your songs. You know, like there be like some rappers and like artists that go up there and kind of like do their thing, but like stay real still. Like not saying they aren't bad or anything, but like you be moving, like jumping, like getting into it. Like, have you always had that stage presence or?
Yeah, man. Ever since I was a little kid, man, I'd be the one to interact. Like I'd watch movies as a kid, like a lot of movies. I was raised by the TVs through and through.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd basically act out those movies, jump off the couch thinking I was Peter Pan type shit. Like I was doing that ever since I was little, and just translating that into music and just being my 100% goofy self on stage, you know. And that's just what I live for, dude. I love it, like through and through. It's my vibe, bro. I just really love it.
What are your goals for 2024, man? Like, what moves have you been making up to now, and like, what do you plan to get going for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year, I just want to go on a music video rampage.
Okay.
You feel me? I just want to have enough money to put down on people. And I know the people that are working in the city, they do a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of I can name, but I'm not gonna name just because I want that to be a secret.
Yeah.
So when I put out the video, everyone's gonna be like, "Damn, so he works with him now."
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. And I want to do basically a music video to Wyland, Space Jam, Medusa. I want to do a music video to Adam Levine with It's Danny. I want It's Danny to be in there.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. He did a great job on that verse for real. Kind of spoke to the heart a little bit. He was like, "Man, what vibe you were going with?" I was like, "Man, like 2016, Lil Tracy, Lil Peep type shit." I don't know.
I feel
man.
it too.
Just
I
some
definitely feel it on
shit
that.
I've never quite really made before, so it was pretty sick.
So, you know, kind of off topic, and you did mention it a little bit, but, you know, the big question I ask everybody who comes on here, but, like, what's your why, bro? Like, why do you rap? Like, what do you help to get by putting your music into the world?
I just want kids to have something that they can rely on the same way I did.
Yeah.
With, like, the artists that I grew up with
Mm-hmm.
and the artists that I grew up listening to. Like, shit, man, Lil Wayne, Kendrick Lamar, Too Short, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, J. Cole, all those people, even the hype artists, you know, Lil Uzi, Cardi, shit, man, 03 Greedo, if you're a West Coast fan, you know what I'm saying? Just that type of shit, just having something for kids in the next generation to really look at and be like, okay, this is what's going to be. And also for, like, the change of hip-hop, too.
Yeah.
Because hip-hop is in a state where we got to figure something out or else it's going to start doing something weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I really just want to bring my own style and what I got to the table to whatever this world is, to the big game grand scheme of things. And hopefully I just continue the cycle to get some kids making music and coming doing the same shit that I'm doing in this very same spot. So
kind of going back to what you're saying about your style, I want to say, like, your style is very unique. You blend a lot of, like, bar spitting, little melodic stuff, as well as, like, auto-tune a little bit. And, you know, I just kind of want to ask, like, how did you get to that point where you were blending all these different styles to kind of make your own sound? You know what I mean?
I guess just the envy. Yeah. I don't know, just the envy of watching everybody make their own sound.
Mm-hmm.
And that even goes for local artists. I don't know if I'm not really envious of them, but, like, they're doing some great things here in Salem and Portland. And everybody needs to watch for it because there's a lot of good talent there that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's like the brand new hub. You know, everybody has their hub. They got the Chicago, they got the East Coast, they got the West Coast, they got the Bay Area. Seattle and Portland is just now fitting in, I feel like. Just now, you know what I mean?
I feel like the hip-hop scene, like, in the Pacific Northwest, like, it's starting to catch on, but, like, you know, it ain't really there yet.
Yeah, definitely. It's growing. What it needs is just more come together.
Yeah.
I think that's it. A little more band together. Tupac had Death Row. You know, Biggie had Big Bad Boy Records. You know, TDE was a thing. Everybody has their own little cliques, and it doesn't really necessarily have to be a clique. It's just got to be like, all right, this is where we're coming from.
Like, unified idea.
Exactly. And we all have the unified idea.
Yeah.
We're all on the same page.
Even though it kind of sucks that it's still kind of catching on, like, it's also, like, super niche, you know what I mean? Like, I have the ability to, like, reach out to you and, like, come on a podcast down from Salem. I can reach out to people from Portland still down to come out on a podcast. I have the ability because, like, the rap scene is, like, so niche here. Like, everybody kind of knows each other even if they don't really know each other. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like just a freelance open drawing board.
Yeah.
And it's just ready for some people that are really creative to take advantage of, really.
All right, y'all. Before we move on to our next segment, arguably the most important part of the show, we got to say our thank yous. So, first of all, I got to give a shout out to the homie Stizzy for being our guest today. Obviously, like I say every podcast, you cannot have a podcast without your guest. So I appreciate you making the drive out from Salem, Doug.
Of course.
Second of all, shout out to the University of Oregon, School of Journalism and Communication. Also, like I say in every episode, we could not be shooting the podcast without them because they give us the room, they give us the recording equipment, and they give us the camera equipment. So shout out to them. Appreciate it forever. Third, shout out to the homies at Dirt Squad. Also, I want to mention I upheld what I said when the homie C-Mad came through. If whoever won the Ops Challenge would be getting on the podcast. Stizzy won. Here he is. And again, that is the beat that y'all are hearing. Ops is honestly one of my favorite beats I've heard out of Dirt Squad, and I'm over there all the time.
Yeah, shout out Dirt Squad, man. For real. For real.
Adding on to that, as I always say as well, if you need any audio help, beats, mixing anything, tap in with the homies at Dirt Squad. Specifically, if you want beats, tap in with their BeatStars and use my code Delta Squad, all caps, for a 20% discount. Don't be sleeping on that one. If y'all haven't seen the NPR Tiny Desk concert footage that I shot for Dirt Squad, check that out. We are at, I believe, 74K views on YouTube. So that is popping off. And we're also on the NPR website now.
Let's go.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So do not be sleeping on that. But if you have seen it, appreciate the love. Keep running that shit up. Also want to give a shout out to King Delane, last week's guest, for coming through. He laid it down. And finally, all this is brought to you by Delta Squad Media, my brand that I started about 4 or 5 years ago. We rocking strong, running podcasts, shooting shows, all the above. And if you need any media help, photo, video, anything, you know where to find me if you're watching the podcast. Moving on. Upcoming shows and events. What you got lined up, bro?
Oh, man. I had something, but I think it just slipped through. I want to go into doing all ages shows, man.
Okay.
It's so hard to do it. I don't know who's been doing it lately, but not many people, at least around here. But that's where the money is.
Yeah.
I'm telling, for all the promoters out there listening and watching, the money is all ages shows. I'm telling you.
That's where it's at, man.
Where it's at, man. And right now, I just don't have too much lined up on show tip.
So I guess my follow-up question would be, like, before the end of the year, how many shows are you trying to get done?
I guess it just depends on who comes to town,
Yeah.
right? It depends on who comes to town, and it depends on who wants to book me and come out. And I really pretty much will go out to anybody, you know. Like, I got love for the whole scene, so it doesn't really matter there. But, yeah, and I'm just ready to be booked, and I'm ready to be on the stage, and they ain't going to regret booking me for sure not. So
how many shows have you done so far this year total already?
This year total in 2023 or 2024?
Or we'll say 2024. Oh, actually, let's start with 23 and let's go into 24.
So 23, at the beginning of 23, I was doing some give backs. I did the give back. I think I did the very first give back that they were doing with Figure 8 and them and Dub Dynamite and them. Shout out them out in Portland. I did that. I think I did another one a couple months later in March 2023. I think it was 23 where I went out to Las Vegas. I opened for Jay Stalin at Brandy's Place.
Nice.
And that was really, really dope. Shout out Jay Meest and the motherfucking Clumsies for getting me out there, man. For real. Like, Ben Natives. That's originally where I'm from, Ben. So,
okay, for sure.
Man, we rocked together for 100%, man. That was a pretty dope experience, getting to fly on the plane all the way out there, seeing Fremont Street and the Strip and being at the MGM. That shit was crazy. And then I think I waited for a couple months, saved up some money, and then at the end of the year, I did the Riff Raff show.
Nice.
In Salem. Every major local artist that was opening was there pretty much, and it was pretty sick just to see us all come together and be like, hey, man, it's all love. We're here opening now. And then after Riff Raff, I did the Valentine's Day show with Stormy just now. On I think it was like the 13th or the 12th. Did that one. Y'all were there, and that was hella fun. And that's been it. That was my last show.
Out of those shows, which one was your favorite?
Man, probably the Riff Raff one.
Okay. Why was that one?
Just because, like, Vine days, younger meme days,
Got
man,
you.
just tiptoeing through my Jordans was always something that everybody knew, you know? And Jay Stalin, all love and all respect to Jay Stalin, but I wasn't alive during the era where Bay Area was just the real fucking place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With E40 and Mac Dre and Be Legit and RBL Posse and just everybody, you know, like. But a lot of Bay Area, I I like to interlace some Bay Area shit into my shit because I think that is the most prominent scene in the last 20 years.
I feel like a lot of people don't recognize it, but that was really kind of like the launching point for like independent artists. Like E40 is one of the biggest independent artists, but like people don't realize that.
Yeah.
And like especially now with people like releasing their stuff on Spotify, using their own distribution platforms and stuff, like independent's like the way to go. And like I feel like the Bay kicked that off, and like a lot of people kind of sleep on that, you know.
Yeah, we're definitely fighting. Independent artists are fighting super hard out here.
Yeah.
I know that there's been some political bills and some transitions to get us some more power at the wage table when it comes to Spotify and other companies like DistroKid and such and so forth. But yeah, distribution, independent artists are the way they're fighting.
Upcoming music and projects. What you've been working on, bro?
Man, I've been experimenting so much, and a long time ago I used to just really make boom bap shit like everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a project to where I could make like 4 to 5 songs where it's basically just my worldview on what I would do if I were to run for like a local public office or some shit like that. And it just touches on like a lot of topics, just, man, everything from affordable housing to just the immigration, the border, and just kind of what's going on with humanity right now, pretty much. And that's kind of the direction I'm going in with my next project. A little more woke, a little more ideas, a little more lyrical content being displayed, but I'm still going to keep some hype songs in there.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like real deep, bro. I kind of want to ask, like, how'd you like develop that concept for the album?
I guess just everybody has something to say about world leaders, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody has something to say, like, well, if I were a world leader, this is what I'd do.
Yeah.
We're starting to stand up more and realize, like, this shit's crazy, bro. Like, crazy. People working 2 jobs and still living in a tent. That's crazy. I wanted to touch up on that because I know I've always been kind of a more, like, outspoken intellectual when it comes to shit like that. So I just thought, like, yeah, let's just base it all out, put it out there. If I get hate, so what? You know what I mean? But basically, it's all just kind of touching on everything in a very human-forward way, if that makes sense.
What's the title, man?
It's called My Platform.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called My Platform.
Hell yeah. And when can we expect the drop?
I'm thinking next month.
Okay.
For sure.
So you're moving quick with it.
Yeah, I got a lot of songs already done. I just need to get the beats cleared. I'm really excited to share it with everybody. It's going to be something you never really thought from me. So
That's dope. And you got like a favorite song off that one yet?
Probably the one called Humanitarian Immigration, and that's just basically being someone of mixed race, having a father who was an immigrant, an undocumented immigrant, having a mother who is a United States citizen. And that whole song is just kind of just basically just about just the whole everything, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. And yeah, that's probably my favorite one.
I'm like fucking with like not even like just like that song that you mentioned, but like the whole idea of the project in general, because it's still there, but like over time, like a lot of rap has like moved away from like serious topics, focused more like on the sound, like, which is all good. Like, don't get me wrong, like there's still bangers and everything. I've always appreciated rap for like the storytelling, talking about shit that people don't want to talk about. And that's why you put it in your music.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I definitely appreciate like what you're trying to do with this project.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, for real.
That's all I got as far as questions, but like I always ask everybody else who comes on the podcast, is there anybody you'd recommend that I'd reach out to get on here in the future?
Try to get on anybody from Marcy Entertainment.
Okay.
Like Jay the Brain, he's really dope. I've known him on a personal level. He's a really cool individual.
Fuck with that.
You definitely have some good conversations out of him. I think Angel is in the same group, the Marcy Entertainment group. I think they're doing this like rhythm and flow thing now, like their own podcast. I'm not too sure, but it seems pretty dope. Honestly, I'd definitely go check it out. You could get Greg Simpson on.
Okay.
I know that he's got a lot talked about for sure. He's a cool individual, man. I used to do shows with him a long time ago. He used to do open mics at Tiki Lounge. And that's what kind of got me into the scene in Salem. So really shout out to him. Theory 503. Go check him out, man. He's got some music videos out.
Oh yeah, man. Fuck with that. Cool. Well, that's all I got, but I just want to ask, is there anything that you would like to say on here that you think should be mentioned?
Oh, man. Just anybody who's watching out there, just if you see something that's an obstacle or anything that's in your way, just get over the hurdle and just keep going, man. Because you only live so many days. You could end up dying tomorrow. Just keep pushing your shit, and eventually everything will come to fruition.
All right, y'all. Like we do about this time, we always finish the podcast with a verse. And Stizzy's about to rip this shit up. Let's get into it.
I'm going to get out my phone real quick for this one. I had to type this shit up.
Yeah,
but,
good.
hey, this shit's dope, man.
It's all suggestive, it's about he say, she say. Concerned which way you running, but you never did the relay. Never compensating nothing like Thugger and Amine. This sound nostalgia like who won the Zach and Cody sweepstakes. Spitting since Kinsey, but P-Dub got they blindfolds on. I promise you this based is, you ain't never seen my final form. Trying to catch a buzz out here like a fan of Charlotte Hornets, but I'm a placer, that's why I operate 50 miles south of Portland. Heritage native, get me iced out, I'm a fucking winter hawk. Just got the news about Puffy. I don't think I wanna sip Ciroc. I'd rather get my Garcia Vega on Gary Payton, break it up. I don't care that the nicotine gon' agitate my lungs numb. Woo!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank y'all for watching.
You fuck with that? You fuck with
yes,
that?
Yes, sir. I fuck with that shit.
Check it out. I ain't even done yet. Check it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. Ayy, up my stock like a doomsday prepper. My shit hot like a Carolina Reaper. Get on the pot, it's all shop talk, but I know my ops gon' lose they temper. All work together if we come to our senses, but I understand being selfish, this job's too intensive. It's easy to be a carbon copy and not organic, but you gotta be way more inventive. You heard of me, bitch? I'm Stizzy Tanz, I'm the Gen Z journalist. Like what happened last week outside my pad, I really think I murdered this. A full rapper, so into competition, then I'm here for the tournament. I'm too busy writing space jams, no astronaut preservatives. Quitting not the option till I find my way to the top charts. And I got the game in the dust and Hazelette arm bar. When I have interviews with Narwhal, I tried Thomas Keller's Middle Eastern beef tartar. Instead I'm knee deep in this fucking barbed wire. I've been through way too many trials and tribulations. I've been through way too many trials and tribulations. I've been through way too many trials and tribulations. Appreciate you, thank you for having me out to make this statement. It's Stizzy.
Woo, shit. Yes, sir. That is how we fucking do it around here. Thank y'all for watching. This has been Music with Mando in the Morning. Shout out to Stizzy Tanz for coming through. Peace and love, y'all. Till next time.